Hi, welcome to 5 Stones Minus 1. Today we're going to go over part 2 of how to use Zoom for conference calls and video conferencing. Let's get this started. All right, I'm Larry Blackman. This is 5 Stones Minus 1, and we're going to go through the steps and procedures for setting up a successful Zoom conference meeting using the web browser and our phones. So let's go ahead and get to our web browser here. All right, here we are at my web browser. This is Chrome. You can use Firefox or Edge, whatever you're using. And we're going to go to Zoom. Sorry about that. Zoom.com. It should come up here. In the corner, it does say Zoom. It's got their branding up there, but I think my face is over that, so excuse that. But this is that, and we're going to go ahead. I'm currently logged in already, but let me go and show you the login screen. Okay, so here's the typical login screen. If you do not already have an account and you're thinking that you're going to do this under the radar, that's not going to happen. You do need to sign up. So here's where you would sign up. Just click this orange sign up, it's free button, and go through the process of, including your email and setting up a password and all that kind of stuff. So now I already have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and sign back in, and this is where you would put all that stuff in there. But I did this using Google, so that's what I did. You can use whatever you feel is appropriate to you. I'm assuming at this point that kind of stuff you are already comfortable with if you're trying to set this up. One thing that I would like to note, we're going to go over here under the profile, meetings, webinars, that stuff. We're going to go to settings, and then we're going to go down here. This is going to help us with some security stuff. You should only have to do this once. This is not going to happen every time. But for now, if this is your first time, let's make sure that we get this right, okay? We're going to do this under meetings in meeting advanced. And it's going to scroll down to that section. And you can scroll to it if you want to yourself, but that kind of sets it up. We're going to go past the data center options. Right below it says waiting room. We want that toggle turned on. That's going to force them to wait for you to actually admit them into the conference call. So besides the invitation, which that's the issue, people have been able to fake those and just come in and do all kinds of not so nice stuff. This will give you the opportunity to kind of screen that, and that's what we want. We only want the people that we're actually inviting into our Zoom calls. That's where that option's at. And I've got the all participants checked, so that should help out as well. Okay, once that's done, you can still, from here, we can host a meeting with video on. That's what we're going to do today. For future purposes, you can join a meeting from here and schedule your meeting, all that good stuff. If you need videos on that, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do about that. But for now, to keep it simple, we're just going to host a meeting with video on. We'll click that. We'll get a pop-up with our plugin, wanting to open our plugin that was installed. If that option comes for you, make sure that is on. I'm going to mute this so it doesn't come back through my system. I think I got it muted in my other software, but just be on the safe side, I'm muting that. You'll want that on though, of course. Now, our conference call room, whatever you want to call it, is open, and we're going to invite somebody. We'll go down here where it says participants. We can see that we're here, obviously, and we got a couple of options here. The one we want to look for is invite. Pretty cut and dry, simple. Pick the email that's pertinent to you. Again, I'm assuming that you're pretty comfortable with email. If you're the one that's setting this up and hosting, then you should be pretty comfortable with that. But otherwise, that might be something to look into. I use Gmail. That's the one I'm clicking on. You can also copy your invitation if you want to send it out on I don't know, some kind of flyer or some kind of announcement on your website or whatever. But obviously, I wouldn't recommend that because people are grabbing those session IDs off of those public sites. Right here, you can see member ID numbers, and there's a password and stuff in here. So I really wouldn't do that too many times. But for now, let's do this. We're here with this email. This is your standard email. This is composing. There's nothing really simple or nothing really too complicated about this. It populated everything it needs for you. All you need to do is just put in the people that you want to invite. You can put in their emails. If you've got a family member that's not that comfortable with email, and I'm kind of thinking that might be part of it, if you're doing this for them, there's a little trick I've figured out. I don't know if anybody else is doing this, but if you send this to yourself and then open this up in your phone, as we will do here in a minute, then you'll be able to copy and paste this top section with the password and the session ID, all that good stuff, into a text message and send it that way, and then they can click from their phone. And that's what we're going to do today. But if they are comfortable with email and all that, and you know that they'll get it, you can just put in all their emails here just like before. You can list them here. You can carbon copy people, blind carbon copy people if if you're familiar with those. If you're familiar with those, then you're probably good enough to go from here on your own. But otherwise, let's send this and I'll show you what happens. All right, so it's been sent. As we can see, we're back here to this plain box. This is just the pop-up. We can close this. Now we're back to our screen here. Let's go to the cell phone and I'll show you what happens on the cell phone side of this. All right, so we're at the cell phone. This is my home screen. First thing I want to go over is that the app will need to be installed. Unlike with your computer where it takes care of the plugins and stuff for you, on the phone you do need the app. So go to your, whatever you go, the iStore or the Google Play Store. Make sure it's a good, reliable source to get it, because there's some other funny stuff out there. But you get the Zoom Cloud Meetings. You install it. Now, as you can see, mine's already installed, but you just go through the install process and let it sit there. If you're doing this for family members that are not comfortable with technology too much right now, that's where it stops. They don't have to do anything else. They don't have to sign in or anything, because they won't have an account, and they'll try to set up an account and it might confuse things. If they're comfortable with making an account, then by all means, let them make an account, and that makes it easier later. But if they're not using an account, then that's where it stops. We're going to go to our email now, and I'll show you. That's the old one from a previous attempt. And we're going to try this one. This is our most recent one. We're going to, yeah. Okay. I thought maybe there was something else, a delay, but that's okay. So this is the link we're going to hit, and it's going to ask us to put in a name. We're going to put in our name. I'm going to go ahead and use Larry 2. Oops. There we go. And it's waiting for the conference that we set up, the confirmation. So let's go ahead and go back to the web browser here. And we'll just show you. Okay, look, see, and down here at the bottom, we actually have where it's confirmed that somebody is in there that is waiting for us to see. Now, if you miss this, all you have to do is hit participants. They'll be in there. And there's our person waiting. If you don't know this person, then hit remove and deal with it later. But if this is the person you're expecting, go ahead and hit admit. And as you'll see here, it'll start doing stuff over here. Log us in. All right, now from the phone side, we're muted and our video is turned off. So to do this, for them to see you, you have to hit these down here in the bottom. And I'm pointing like you can see, but that's okay. Call via device audio. You'll need to hit that, and then I'm not going to do that because then it'll feedback through the system. So we're going to leave that part muted, but you'll need to turn that on, and we're going to hit where it says start video so you can at least see that part. And then you'll have to give it permission right there. And it will do the same thing for the audio. When you go to turn the audio on the first time, it will ask for permission to access your mic. Now, it won't do that in the future, but it will still need to be turned on. And there are options for people to automatically have people muted when they come into the Zoom meetings. So you may have to turn your mic on and your video on before they can see you. But right now we've got a successful connection here. Of course, you've got a weird angle from my phone. I apologize for that. See if we can get a better angle there. There we go. Okay, so in here we have some options now too. Once you've got this meeting, that's pretty good. If that's all the help you needed, then that's awesome. Give me a thumbs up below. But I'd also like to go over a few options. Once you're here, there is up at the top, of course, is the host. That's yourself. And then the participant is down here below. The person that's actually doing the talking is down here below. If you've got 3 or 4 people in here, whoever is talking is going to be here. And that's why you kind of want it muted when everybody comes in as well. If you want to do that, that will make it less confusing for everybody. Things flashing through and all that kind of stuff. So you get them to, when it's ready and it's their turn to talk, they can unmute and then get the whole thing going that way. I know a lot of teachers have figured that out, so kudos for that. I didn't know that would do that until a teacher actually showed us. So that's an option. Over here it says gallery view. This is what I kind of like, and I haven't got to do an actual meeting where there's a bunch of people and try that. So, but I'm pretty sure that if you've got 3 or more people, that it would show all of those here instead of just the person that is talking. And then while you're doing your meeting, you actually have this option chat, and that's going to open up its in-house chat thing, and you can actually chat to everybody, or you can pull this drop down and you can select somebody in the meeting, and it's going to go by their name that they've selected when they signed in, and you can send them a private message. You know, forget my typing. I forgot how to type all of a sudden. You know, whatever, and it'll be in here. And then just like with instant messaging and text messaging, you just type it out, send it. Not too much complicated stuff there. And then of course, if you're done with chat, you can close the window, all that good stuff. Pull this back to full screen. You can record your session, but of course, if you record it and your family members get mad at you, that's on you. I'm not saying to do that, but if you're in a business meeting and you need to record, that's an option. It'll save it to your desktop. I think that should just about cover it. To end a call, basically all you have to do is just go to the red button on the bottom right, and you've got 2 options. You can just leave the meeting, and everybody else in the meeting can continue conversing. If you got to go take care of your kids or something like that, you can leave the meeting, and as long as it's open, you'll be able to come back. Just click in to the same link and session ID, use all of that stuff. You can get back in. Somebody will have to let you back in, you know, all that kind of jazz. But if you, and then, or you can end the meeting for everybody if you're totally done. If it's a business meeting, you know, you just conferencing, whatever, planning stuff, you can end right here. So we'll end that meeting right there. All right, so there's your tips and tricks and how-tos for the conference calls on Zoom. Hopefully this was helpful. If there's any more questions, please leave a comment below. If you liked this, give it a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content, I am planning to make more how-tos. Please subscribe and let me know if there's anything that you would specifically like to see. I do have a lot of things planned, but I would like to do some videos where if there's something that you specifically like to see, I wouldn't mind giving that a try as well. We'll go with that as we can. Hit the bell so that way you know when I do post something new. And David used one stone for God's glory, and I'm just looking to be another stone to help everybody out. Have a good week. Thank you.